And welcome to your Fast Track to 7. My name is Alex Larson.
And I'm Tata Miller. 6:49 here in the Valley today. One Minnesota man is hurt after a crash in Polk County early this morning. Minnesota State Patrol says shortly after 1 a.m., a car was southbound on Highway 75 when it left the road near 220th Avenue.
The 24-year-old suffers injuries in this crash. The extent of those injuries, though, is unknown at this time. And nobody was hurt after more than 40 train cars derailed in Steele, North Dakota because of a tornado. We do know, though, that those rail cars were empty.
Crews working to clear the area as quickly and safely as possible. In addition to the tornado, Steele also got 2 inches of rain. Closer to home in Crookston, a viewer shared these photos after the storms left quite a mess in her yard.
You can see part of a tree snapped off, large branches knocked down, and a fence knocked over. And over in Melvin, Minnesota, another viewer's got a lot of cleanup to do after a large tree fell onto a house.
Yeah, you can see the damage to the roof, siding, and windows. The Walmart on 52nd Avenue South in Fargo reopened yesterday after being evacuated because of a bomb threat. This happened just after noon when a caller said explosives were going to be brought into the store.
Officers, canines searching that building, but did not find any explosives. Walmart reopening at about 3 p.m. yesterday. And another bomb threat. Fargo police also continuing to investigate that bomb threat that was called into Fargo South High School on their first day of school earlier this week.
Police say with close collaboration between the SRO and school officials, they figured out pretty quickly that it was a fake threat. This is called swatting. Of course, they will still investigate and take all of these threats very seriously.
Some actually have some leads that can be followed up on and investigated, and some just don't. So, I mean, every scenario is a little bit different, but we obviously take all of these serious. We investigate them to the fullest extent we can. If we need to bring in federal partners to help us, we'll do that. But kind of every swatting incident is unique.
Valley News Live will provide new updates on that swatting call as they become available. And a scary day for a Moorhead boy who had to jump out of a window to safety during a house fire yesterday.
It happened just before 2 p.m. on 67th Avenue north of Oakport. Fire officials tell us the boy was the only one home at the time, and there's no word on if he's injured.
3 dogs were also inside, but only one was able to be rescued. Crews are still trying to figure out just how that fire started. They say, though, and as you can see here, that damage is pretty severe. A memorial has been started for Jalen Walker, a 14-year-old Moorhead girl who was stabbed to death at Gooseberry Park last week.
She was set to start her freshman year at Moorhead High this week. It's unclear how long the memorial has been there.
But you can find it near the Red River, where she was found in the area of 6th Avenue and Elm Street. It is 6:52 a.m. on this Friday morning. Check out that sunrise.
It's gorgeous, and we're heading right into the weekend. What could be better?
Yeah, long weekend for some of you. For more on what's coming our way, let's send things on over to Summer Schnellbach for a check of our forecast. Hey, Summer.
Hello, good morning. I've been so excited to watch the sunrise come up this morning after a couple of cloudy days. And it is a gorgeous one, not a cloud in the sky here in the FM area. Couple things that we're watching for you over the next couple of days. We are going to see the wind picking up. Look like my clicker's not going to work. So let me just step over to my computer really fast and get my graphics going. But we're going to see lots of sunshine and warm temperatures for today with increasing wind through the afternoon. There we go. And throughout the weekend, we're also going to see some wind, but also plenty of sunshine. First week of September, also trending pretty good, mild and mostly dry. And yes, it does come with some more wind. Looking outside right now, 52 here in Fargo and Moorhead, wind out of the south-southwest at 8 miles per hour. So not seeing a lot of wind yet. That'll change later today. Grand Forks, 57 degrees, wind out of the west at 13 miles per hour. Temperatures in the 50s, 55 in Jamestown, 48 in Oaks, 52 in Wadena, more 50s, even upper 50s, Devil's Lake, 59, 56 in Baudette. For today in Fargo, the sunshine, that's going to stick around. The wind increasing with gusts upwards of 25 to 30 miles per hour. Temperatures, though, in the low 80s. Lots of upper 70s and low 80s, even with the wind. So looking ahead to the rest of the weekend, it's a long holiday weekend for a lot of folks. 83 degrees tomorrow, wind out of the south-southwest, 10 to 25 miles per hour. Less wind, cooler for Sunday, 75, wind out of the north around 5 to 10 miles per hour, still a lot of sun. Mostly sunny on Monday, breezy. The wind returns, wind out of the south-southeast 10 to 25 miles per hour. And then look at that, more wind Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, going to see temperatures in the 80s. Wednesday, Thursday, our next slight chance of some showers and storms. And then we cool down just a little bit, really close to seasonally average, along with less wind and not much rain chances throughout next weekend. So got to get through just the wind. But aside from that, grab the sunglasses ahead of your morning commute this morning.
Yeah, a little breezy, but hey, we're holding off the rain, keeping that at bay. Looking up.
Yeah, at least for several days too. So fields can dry out as farmers are getting harvest underway.
Yeah, no complaints here. Thank you so much, Summer. Well, this weekend, community members are inviting Fargo to share in the richness and diversity of African culture.
You can walk through displays and exhibitions showcasing African heritage and even try some traditional cuisine. In an interview with The Valley today, the executive director said the event is meant to reconnect African people with their roots.
Anytime we are opportune to distance from home, we lose so many things. We lose the memory of where we came from. Because even some of our people are here from teenage years, and some are even born here. And it's always difficult to show them or to tell them where they are from.
You can check out this event for yourself tomorrow at Broadway Square from 3 to 10 p.m. with the red carpet rolling out at 2. Well, we've got a lot of hot summer nights coming up, and there's nothing better than a cold drink at the Minnesota State Fair. This year's fairgoers will have 63 new specialty sips to choose from, and many of them are made by small local companies.
Those drinks are sold at booths and restaurants across the State Fair grounds. Gordon Severson has more.
You're here. You're going to do it. I love it.
At the Minnesota Craft Brewers Guild,
You're back. Awesome.
it's all about the flights,
There you are, and the numbers on here match what's behind me.
where beer lovers can taste 4 beers at a time from 90 breweries that rotate their beer every few hours.
It's a good way of connecting the consumer to beers that they wouldn't normally have access to.
Bob Galligan with the Guild says it's a rare opportunity for small breweries to quickly make a name for themselves.
Talking with different actual guild leaders from across the country, no other state fair really celebrates the craft beer culture the way that the Minnesota State Fair does.
That's always the dream in Minneapolis, especially. How do I get part of the state fair?
For brand new breweries like Padraig's in Minneapolis,
We just passed our 1-year anniversary last week.
getting into the fair is like a dream come true.
There's an app, an online app called Untapped that people rate their beers in. So we're watching on Untapped, and we can tell when they're serving our beer. They cycle through the beers here, the different breweries, and we can tell when people are tasting our beer and rating it. And we're very happy we're getting very high ratings.
And with every high rating, hopefully a new customer.
We're already seeing that. We see people come from the state fair over to the tap room.
Across the street, local winemakers are also reaching new customers.
There's very few places a small business like ours can get exposure to literally hundreds of thousands of people within a 10-day period. It's just amazing.
Kyle Peterson from Winehaven Winery partners with a few other wineries to host the Minnesota Wine Country booth every year.
We're still hearing, oh, I didn't know you could grow grapes in Minnesota. People can come inside, try some of the fruits of our labor, so to speak.
When his family started their winery in the 90s, Peterson says Minnesota only had a handful of wineries, but now there's nearly 100.
Napa was a relatively new wine region, back in the 50s, really. So it does take some decades, and we feel like we're on track. We have some really good grapes here.
But every industry has its challenges. For wine, Peterson says the last few growing seasons have been rough.
Well, it's a lot of great Minnesota breweries, right?
Over on the brewery side, it's more competition from hard liquor and seltzers.
The numbers are declining, not just for craft beer, but for beer in general. As I like to kind of say, we're hitting a cruising altitude at this point. We still are seeing more openings than closings.
Thank you.
That's why opportunities like this at the fair are so important to keep the industry going and to give small breweries a chance to shine.
So many of these breweries either are from kind of more rural or outstate type areas, or they are so small that they don't really pour outside of their community. You really get a very wide sense of different breweries and different styles of beer from all over the state.
And there's plenty of time left to enjoy as many drinks as you can at the State Fair with the ride home, obviously.
Oh yeah, the fair's final day is this upcoming Monday. And if you aren't taking some of those drinks, here's a little heebie-jeebie action for you. 10,000 honeybees were placed on volunteers' faces for the University of Minnesota Bee Lab's Bee Beer demonstration at the State Fair.
Yeah, these are volunteers, remember. They're doing this voluntarily. It's an annual tradition celebrating its 25th year. To form the beer, a small cage holding the queen is placed around a volunteer's neck and the other bees follow.
One volunteer says it feels a little prickly, no thank you, but believe it or not, none of the volunteers got stung.
Yeah, that's a nightmare. Well, thank you so much for joining us here on The Valley today. Today's show and CBS Mornings are just about to start. If you're heading out the door, have a great weekend. My name is Alex Larson.
And I'm Tatum Miller. Take care.